It just feels really. Just the articulation. This is the Vienna Symphonic Library, the Synchron Prime Edition, and it's packed with strings, woodwind, brass, and percussion. And I was able to fully write this piece with this library alone. What's up, Archie Beats here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my home studio. As a composer, with this library, you could literally write an entire piece without using any other VSTs. It's jam-packed with strings, woodwind, brass, and percussion. It's driven by the Vienna Synchron player, which is a really powerful state-of-the-art engine. And as you all can see, the GUI is flawless and simple, but with powerful dimensional sounds. You get the unmatched acoustics of Synchron Stage Vienna. You also have pre-configured reverb settings for authentic placement of each instrument on stage. You can also mix your microphones to your taste. Right out of the box, the sounds are production ready. And what I like about these instruments is that they are highly playable. They have an authentic feel with expressive articulation. And you also have room mics that captures the entire acoustics of Synchron Stage A. That's why the piece that I wrote sounds so big. And today's video is brought to you by Sweetwater Sound. For those of you who don't know, Sweetwater Sound is the largest music retailer in the United States with over 40,000 pieces of gear for you to choose from. That includes the Vienna Symphonic Library Synchron Prime Edition and other cool things. So be sure to check out Sweetwater Sound today. So let's hop on the screen and first go over the GUI, and then we're going to go over the piece that I just wrote and the instruments that I use. Let's take a look. So this is the session here. As you all can see, we have the percussion, bass drum, second bass, tam up top, and a timpani. We really didn't use that many percussion. I want to go more towards the kind of orchestral symphonic. And then below the percussion, we have the violins and the violas, the strings, the top strings rather. And then our bass and our bass strings follow, and everything's color coordinated so I can be more organized. We have our harp here, and all of these instruments, Celesta, glockenspiel, all the brass below, and the flute woodwinds at the bottom, but all of this is the Vienna Synchron. So let's take a look at the strings here. You guys have reference to the session, but this is how it sounds and this is how it's working. That's pretty much it. Those violas are really I love that part. One of my favorite parts that I wrote on this. But yeah, let's start with the GUI and all its glory. And this beautiful Vienna Symphonic Library comes with so many cool instruments and cool sounds. First of all, this is a 130-piece orchestra. We have approximately 14 first violins, 10 second violins. We have 8 violas. We have the viola cellos. We have 8 of those. We have a double bass. Let's talk about this. You see we have the instruments that's selected, and this is the violin. Just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful instrument. And these are the first violins, which we have 14 players that's playing first violin here. And I have it set to long, but I still have the ability to give the expression and utilize the dynamics with my pitch wheel, my mod wheel here. So I can just give it, as you all can see when I move it, look at the violin. You see, guys, you see how that moves? That's me actually moving the mod wheel on my keyboard here. And I didn't have to program any of this. It was ready, set, go. Amazing piece of gear here. Humanizing here, which I don't have that activated. We have our timbre, expression, we have our key bed down here, and then over here is very important. This is your articulation section. The staccato is more stabby. Your long is right there, universal. You can kind of press like the velocity of the keys, press down and it will change up. Our pizzicata, which get a plunk, plunk, kind of the plucky sound. But the performance, we have it set to legato, so you can kind of just seamlessly go into the next note, just flowy and beautiful. Then we have transition and legato, first note down here. Then we have our release, normal, and then over here, this is the cool section. This is your effects section, and you can kind of balance your microphones out to more intimate, means closer, and ambient, you're going farther out. That's how microphones work. You get more ambience the farther you move them away from the instrument. And then right here with our lush, the effects section over here, this is where our effects and reverb, you can turn it up from strong. Think of this as more of a mix button, a mix knob here, and you can crank up the effects, reverb, how you like it. And you have the option of lush, long, sparkling, whatnot. I have it set to classic because, and then I can move around the mics and figure that out from there. But let's go out and talk about the important part about an orchestra, especially this library right here. They did such a fantastic job. The seating, I always get excited when I have the option to see the seating of my instruments and musicians that I'm actually, our virtual musicians that's being played and controlled through this keyboard here. But as you can see, the percussion is right here. The horns are right here sectioned off. So it's sort of a panning effect. When you select these instruments, you automatically get the placement of the actual musicians. So that's really cool. And then also when you go out from here, you see that if you select, for example, the woodwinds, it gives you the option to select the woodwinds, and you have the option to select whichever instrument. So you can physically click the section and it will take you to the option to where you can select your instruments, the presets for your instruments, which is really cool. And you can, if you have a hard time with it, you can also start your demo tour, which if you hit the demo tour here, it takes you to like just around, show you around a little bit. It's like a studio tour here, a scoring stage tour. And we're going to finish that off, but this is how I pretty much just kept everything organized, and the harps over here, drums and percussion are back here. This is really cool. So let's talk about like the quality of the sound, and let's play around with some sounds really quick. So listen to the feel go away. It changed. When I hit my legato, so that legato gives you that human feel. You definitely want that activated, especially if you're trying to write a more human feel. I didn't find the need to turn up any of the humanizing here. It's just, it sounds amazing already, just out of the box. Very simple, easy to use user interface. Just listen to the mics. It's getting more intimate. Right in your face. Spreads out, gives it dimension. I love that part. The fact that you can control with mic balance, you can control the dimensions as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. And the effects, right? If we hit lush with the reverb. Hear the tail? They're catchy, has some meat to it. Sounds really great. And then our output here, this control the output volume. So this is a very simple three-part. This is a very simple just three-part user interface, and you can really make some cool stuff with it. Let's go and check out some brass instruments. Let's check out the brass really quick. This is one of my favorite parts of this section that I wrote. And I actually put a channel EQ in the actual stock. Very simple part, but it made the world. It made the world to it. And what I like about just the realistic feel and the realistic sound of you can just like, for example, let's just jump genres really quick. Very beautiful brass section. Now this is the 15 player brass section. Let's give it a click here so you guys can see just the seating. It's going to be over here, and that's also including the bass brass, like the tuba and like the baritone, anything back there in the French horns, trumpets, all of that would be right there. And as you can see, we can select a trumpet in B flat right here. Horns, cornets, trumpets, cornets, or whatnot, and then 6-player horns here, tenor, trombone, everything is here. This thing is really packed with the right sounds. This gives composers everything that they need, and I just love that the sounds are realistic. They took their time to record real musicians in a real environment, and it gives composers access to the tools that they need. So I really do appreciate you guys for watching my video. If you have any questions about the Vienna Symphonic Library Synchron Prime, be sure to comment them below. I'll be happy to answer your question. As a composer, this is definitely a great tool, only for $625. Don't forget to be great and create. This is your boy Archie Beats, and I am signing off. It just feels real. Just the articulation.